Welcome back to the Daily Exchange, live from Consensus New York 2019. I'm joined here by Alex from Neufund.
Hey.
Great to have you on the show, Alex.
Likewise, thanks for having me.
As we said before, I'm very excited to have you on the show since I think Neufund's one of those projects that's been a bit of a sleeping giant for a little while now.
Yeah.
So for those of our viewers who are unfamiliar with the project, do you mind just quickly explaining to them, giving a bit of an overview of what your product is and what you guys do?
Sure, absolutely. So Neufund is a blockchain-enabled investing and fundraising platform. So we are a dual-sided platform for both investors on the one hand and companies on the other hand. We allow basically investors to invest in investment offerings through our platform, and we provide an easy and regulatory compliant solution for companies on the other hand to raise capital in either Euro or Ether in a blockchain-based offering. So these are securities offerings. We tokenize all different types of assets or securities. Equity is our initial focus and our go-to-market strategy, but our technology can be used to tokenize really any type of asset, so anything from equity to fixed income or bonds, real estate, commodities, etc.
So to put it out there for the average person, you're a platform that allows for security token offerings, equity token offerings, these sorts of things.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you baked into the whole thing, I guess, is the regulatory framework for these companies to come on board and prefer to use your platform over some other platform. Is that the idea?
That's right. So maybe I can go a little bit deeper. So security token offerings is sort of a construct or a name a label that's been created so to distinguish from the initial coin offering, or the ICO, which is a non-regulatory compliant solution for fundraising. And has gotten a lot of companies in trouble. So what we do through our platform is we structure security token offerings, exactly, or STOs. And what these do these are essentially these are investment offerings or a fundraising mechanism for companies or an investment offering for an investor. And this allows them to invest in a way that is legally compliant and regulatory compliant, invest in companies or projects, whether they're blockchain-based companies or not.
Yeah.
And I think what's a massive differentiator for Neufund versus sort of the STO debates or the STO conversation here in the United States and elsewhere in Europe is that our platform allows both retail investors as well as institutional investors to invest in the same round. And this is something that today doesn't really, it's not possible in the United States due to the accredited investor rule.
And this is where a retail investor is your average Joe.
Exactly. So
currency investor or trader.
Exactly. So if you want to invest 10 euros in a company, you can do that through our platform. If you alternatively are a large institutional investor and you want to invest €1 million in that same company, you can do that, and those two investors can take part in the same round together.
Okay.
And that's really revolutionary.
So that really, I guess, opens up the liquidity pool for the company that is seeking investment, but it also allows your average retail investor to now be on the same playing field, I guess, as the big companies or the big people at the table.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's an issue that really I think has plagued finance for decades, really, which is this and has spilled over into other parts of society. You know, we hear about income inequality all the time, and sort of this idea that the rich are getting richer.
Yeah.
And that's true. And part of the reason for that is because regulations have been constructed in a way that actually keeps that sort of system prolonging. And what we try to do is say, hey, wait a minute, we want everybody to have equal opportunity, equal access to investment opportunities. And through the legal and technical architecture that we've devised, we enable that to take place through our platform.
I think you've got to have a net worth of something like over $1 million of net worth to yourself just in America alone to be an accredited investor.
Yeah.
So the platform is European, you're Berlin based.
Yep.
So I'm Australian, I live in Berlin. Am I allowed to participate in these?
Absolutely. So
what about someone from the US? Because I know that there's usually blockers there?
Yeah. So today we have more than 5,000 registered investors on our platform from over 90 different countries. Okay. These are both institutional investors like venture capital funds and private equity funds, as well as these retail investors that we were talking about. So mom and pop, anybody that wants to invest in private equity or venture capital. And basically, so we can allow both investors and issuers, companies, from all over the world to use our platform. And everybody, both a company or an investor, undergoes or conducts KYC, or the identity verification process that we call it, to ensure a regulatory, compliant, and safe investment process for everyone. Today, we don't allow investors or issuers from the United States due to regulatory uncertainty that exists. I think a lot of people, not just Neufund, are waiting for the SEC and sort of the powers that be in the United States to provide a little bit of certainty or a little bit of clarity around how they view these types of digital assets.
I think unfortunately for our US viewers, they're very aware of these pain points that they must have been encountering for quite a while now.
Yeah. So
what I'm really interested in is, a little while ago there was a partnership announced, and I believe it was between Neufund, Binance, and the Malta Digital Exchange or Malta Stock Exchange?
The Malta Stock Exchange, yes.
Can you tell us a bit about what that is and what your actual involvement in the agreement is?
Yeah, so basically, Neufund, you can think of it as a primary market for investment offerings, and that means basically a company saying, I want to tokenize my equity and raise capital, and basically issue new shares to investors to invest in. And there's also the concept of the secondary market, which allows people to trade. Someone who invests in the primary offering can all of a sudden go and trade that security that they've purchased on a secondary exchange.
Yeah.
And so Neufund as a primary market has partnerships with a variety of different secondary exchanges, both crypto exchanges as well as traditional stock exchanges. So you pointed to a couple. So we've partnered with Binance, which is the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, as well as the Malta Stock Exchange, or MSX of the Malta Stock Exchange, which is an EU-regulated stock exchange.
So if I can just jump in there, that means the token is issued on Neufund. It can then be traded on a classic sort of cryptocurrency exchange that most people are familiar with. But you're saying the partnership with the Malta Stock Exchange means it's going to be traded on these traditional legacy sorts of markets as well? Yeah,
so today there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to get security tokens from equities, bonds, whatever, any type of blockchain-based digital assets to trade on a regulated securities exchange. So our partners are working on getting the necessary licensing that they need to facilitate the trading of security tokens, and we stand there ready to support them, and they're our partners, and we're very excited about sort of what the future that lies ahead for trading these. But there's still this is liquidity itself. The promise of liquidity with respect to security tokens is something that people like to talk about a lot, and it's a very exciting topic. Yeah. But it's something that I think it's important to stress that this is difficult work, and there's still more work to be done in order to make this come to fruition and make this a reality.
I was going to ask you what sort of pain points or blockers are you encountering, but it sounds like regulation is really the key that's going to unlock a lot of things going forward.
Yeah, and I think to contrast it from the situation here in the United States, in the US there's still uncertainty as to what can be traded and how, and sort of how that impacts securities regulations. Yeah. Now, I think it's a bit more clear where we're operating, and the real challenge right now is allowing these exchanges or getting these exchanges to get the proper licensing that they need. So that's a process that every exchange, whether they're a crypto exchange or want to be a traditional securities exchange, something that they have to go through, and it takes time, obviously, to get that paperwork and applications and the necessary licensing. So that's sort of the next step of this process.
And speaking about these sorts of cooperations that you've got going on, I know that you recently had some sort of agreement with Ledger. What can you tell us about that for people that may not be aware?
Yeah, so Ledger's been a partner to us.
Ledger, the hardware wallet, of course.
The very popular cryptocurrency cryptocurrency hardware wallet. It's Ledger has been a partner of ours for a while. We announced this partnership in December regarding security tokens, but we have integrated natively sort of the ability to log into our platform or register in our platform with Ledger from the very beginning, because Ledger is one of the most secure hardware wallets that you can own on the market, if not the most secure. And I think that is something that really goes back to the core of what we at Neufund and what many others in this industry are trying to do, which is to ensure that we're creating an ecosystem that is safe and allows investment from anybody, but to do so in a safe manner. And so security with respect to your assets, your digital assets, and the wallet that you hold it on is paramount to us and to all of our investors. And so giving them the ability to interact with our platform in the most secure form is what we stand for, and is just part of sort of the work that we're doing there with Ledger.
Okay, and so speaking of the work that you're doing, I'm very curious. What have you got? I know that you just did your first, not STO, but equity offering.
Equity token offering, ETO, yeah.
And that was for your parent company, which is Fifth Force.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a success, I'm guessing.
Absolutely, yeah. So in December of 2018, Fifth Force GmbH, the parent company of Neufund, raised 3.5 million euros. Yep. In a matter of 2 weeks through our blockchain-based equity token offering. This was the first ever regulated equity token offering in the world, and and something that we're very proud of and very happy with. And as we couple exciting things on the horizon for us. So actually, this is sort of breaking news. We are just about to open our application process publicly for issuers to apply directly through neufund.org to conduct an equity token offering through our platform. That's something that previously did not have sort of an open gateway publicly on the internet. Yep. And we're just in the process of opening that right now in the next couple days. So stay tuned for that, which is very exciting. And basically, once a company applies and goes through our application process, and if they are approved, they can start listing their offering to investors within a matter of days on our platform.
Wow.
So that's a really exciting.
I've got a startup. I'm looking for equity. I've been to the VCs, or they just don't want to listen to me, and I haven't raised what I need to raise. I can obviously go there, but that's a small example. But you've opened it up to everyone. Really.
Exactly, but that's actually a great example. So today, like the way that we like to, the way that we see equity token offerings and sort of the broader area of blockchain-based investing and fundraising taking shape, and what it really stands for is it's providing a viable alternative to raising capital versus your traditional, I have to go talk to a venture capitalist, and it's all about who you know and your network. It's not so much about
people looking to cut little bits here and there.
Exactly.
And take their
10%. So like I said, we want to democratize access to opportunity through our platform, and this, going to Neufund allows an investor or allows a company, I should say rather, or a founder to access a viable alternative to fundraising and allow them to grow their company just like many founders out there want to do. And so hopefully providing a fairer system for them to do that.
And on the flip side, obviously, someone like me can go and invest in these companies directly,
exactly,
not have to wait for things to hit the aftermarket, the third, secondary market where prices have inflated or changed, or these sorts of things. So
exactly.
It sounds like a really exciting project, because I think security tokens they're going to come into fruition this year. I don't know. I think they're definitely in the next wave.
Absolutely.
We encountered so many issues with ICOs and utility tokens. I think the market's really matured in that way and doesn't want that sort of fundraising model to go much longer.
Yeah.
If there's a better viable alternative, I guess.
Look, I completely agree, and it's actually far, the way I see it, it's far broader than just the ICO sort of conversation. This is really what we're talking about is the future of capital markets, the future of how investment banking works, the future of how companies and founders raise capital, and the future of how people invest. And so we're on the forefront of that at Neufund, and we're excited about not just the year ahead, but about the next 100 years ahead, and what systems like ours and platforms like ours, what they enable, a future that truly does allow both investors and companies to access investments and capital in a much easier and more efficient manner.
So the next thing I want to ask you about is I'm actually very impressed and amazed that you haven't even mentioned that you have a token, that you have the Neumark. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Absolutely. So Neumark is Neufund's protocol token, and what this does, separate from the equity tokens or other security tokens that are issued through our platform, Neumark is a token that essentially allows anybody who uses our platform to claim revenues from successful offerings that take place on our platform. So it's a revenue share token at its core, and what that means is, every time you invest in an equity token offering through Neufund's platform, not only do you get the equity in the company you've just invested in, but you also get as a reward Neumark. And what that does is, by holding that, you can then claim revenues or claim success fees from all companies that are conducting investment offerings on our platform. So when a company, as a Neu token holder, when a company like Fifth Force GmbH successfully conducts an equity token offering on our platform, then I, as a token holder of Neu, go to neufund.org or platform.neufund.org. I see very easily in my portfolio that I have a certain amount of euro and ether to claim, and that's euro and ether that is being distributed from the equity token offering. And so I, as a token holder, whether I invested in that equity token offering or not, I can claim actual fees, success fees,
and that euro and ether as well.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay. So we have our own internal stablecoin called Euro, and that allows both traditional investors as well as crypto investors to invest in offerings, or for companies to raise capital in euro from our platform. That's a 1-to-1 euro peg stablecoin that allows. So as an investor, I very easily go to platform.neufund.org. I link my bank account, and just like that, I can purchase Euro or redeem Euro at any time.
And so for people that aren't really aware of cryptocurrency, or they're still scared off by the term maybe, and they don't understand the markets that well, they're still able to come because they're just spending, I know it's a stablecoin version, but they're spending euros.
It's something that they're used to. Yeah,
they're familiar with it.
It's really no different than euro. Like I said, you can purchase Euro and you can redeem Euro for euro at any time through our platform.
And so, just to be clear, so with the Neumark, you just by holding it, do you have to stake it on the website to get the returns, or do you just hold it in a wallet, or
So
how does it work?
So you hold your Neumark on the wallet address that is linked to your Neufund account.
Okay.
So by doing that ensures that you that the system recognizes that the Neu that you hold, you can see that on our platform, and then when a successful ETO takes place and you want to go and claim your success fees, you're more than able to do that directly through the platform. Very simple and very easy.
Very cool.
And so just to point out, in the equity token offering that we were just talking about, Fifth Force GmbH distributed over 111,000 euro to more than 2,000 Neu token holders.
Wow. So what is the percentage there?
So there are two fees that are charged to issuers. No fees are charged to investors to use our platform, except for Ethereum network transaction fees.
Yep.
Which are basically like micropayments. But the two fees that are charged to issuers are this: 3% of the capital that's raised. So, if we raise 3.5 million euro, or roughly 3.5 million euro in the offering, and so a little over 100,000 euro was deducted from that ETO and distributed to all Neu token holders. And the other fee is 2% of the equity tokens that are generated during that sale. And those equity tokens go into a portfolio that I, as a Neu token holder, have ownership over in proportion to the amount of Neu that I own. Okay. So basically,
so you have like an investment fund.
Exactly. You can think of it as an index fund, just like an ETF or so. And what that means is, whether I invest in one equity token offering or two, I have a small stake in every successful equity token offering that's ever taken place on the Neufund platform. Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is decentralized finance.
And this is not financial advice, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to ask, I'm not sure if you're able to, you've just shared some news with us, of course. Do you have any projects coming up that you can maybe share details with that are looking to raise equity on the platform, what industries they might be in, that sort of stuff?
So I can't share anything specific yet, but what I can say is look out for an announcement very soon. We'll be making an announcement very soon about new investment offerings on the platform. We're very excited about it, and that in tandem with sort of opening up the issuer application processes, carrying us forward and getting this momentum really full steam ahead as we go into the second half of the year. We're very excited.
I can tell you look very excited right now. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
James, thank you very much.
Thank you. And for anyone that wants to find out more about the project, what's the website?
Yeah, neufund.org, or find us on Twitter at neufund.org. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Make it very easy, and feel free to reach out to us if you want to get in touch with the team. hello@neufund.org.
Beautiful. Well, that's the Daily Exchange from Consensus New York, and we'll be back very soon with some more footage from the conference.